What is up, guys? So you might have expected this video to not have my voice in it, and believe me, I would have preferred to not put my voice in every single video, but recently the top 10 moments of the week videos have been copyrighted like non-stop. I tried to upload the last two top 10 moments of the week videos, like time after time. I trimmed down the clips, but it just kept on getting copyrighted no matter what I did. So from now on, I will have to do these videos with my voice in it and just pictures, no videos. Maybe like a little bit of video, but mostly just pictures, because if I put any clips in these videos, they get copyrighted. So here it is, my top 10 arrowverse moments of the week, week 5. So number 10 goes to Legends of Tomorrow, and it's when Rip warns Sarah about Mullis and the war that is coming. I didn't like that Sarah turned Rip over to the Time Viewer, but the scene had a great moment when Rip actually warned Sarah about the war. I don't know what war he's talking about, but whatever it is, Rip is definitely scared of it. Arthur Darvill did a pretty good job portraying that fear without screaming or anything, just with his facial expression and the way he talked. It was a really good performance in that moment. And if anything, this moment is really, really intriguing. And that is like episode 5 of Legends of Tomorrow was such an intriguing episode that I feel like every single moment of Legends of Tomorrow on this top 10 list is just there because of how intriguing it is. This episode had a lot of setup in it, but it was setup that was done really well, and this moment was one of those moments that it was really well set up, and it was just so intriguing that it had to be on the list. Number 9 is Morgan Edge's conversation with Supergirl, specifically the part where he tells Supergirl to kill him, or the part where he says that when he has an enemy, he kills that guy, and if they are enemies, Supergirl should kill him. And it was a really great moment. It shows how Edge can take advantage of Supergirl's moral code, and that's a really interesting villain to watch. So Morgan Edge, I said Morgan Edge is one of the best Supergirl villains ever, and he might be the best, definitely one of the best, and this just makes him better. He's using Supergirl's moral code against her, and it is really, really interesting. So number 8 is basically a tie between all the drunk Flash moments on The Flash. Drunk Flash was basically the only good thing from Girls Night Out. It was really funny, and because it was the only good thing, number 8 is the only moment on this top 10 list from The Flash this week, and that's pretty disappointing since last week The Flash had the most moments. This week it has only one moment, and that is pretty disappointing. But this Drunk Flash was really, really, really funny, especially the moments where Barry confessed his love for chicken wings, and when Barry supposedly got peanuts from the bar. Bunch of funny moments, and those were definitely the highlights of the episode. That's not saying much, but still, it was pretty funny. Number 7 is Damien Darhk's resurrection on Legends of Tomorrow. I feel like this moment could have and should have been higher on the list, but it was a little undercut by the moment that it proceeded, like right after, which that moment is later on this list, but nevertheless, this was a pretty great moment. I thought it was, again, intriguing. Most of everything that Legends of Tomorrow did this week was just intriguing, and that's everything on this list. So this moment was intriguing, if anything, and seeing Damien Darhk back with all of his memories from Arrow Season 4 and Legends of Tomorrow Season 2 with his powers might get a little annoying for people because people didn't like Damien Darhk from Season 4, but I think it would be a lot more interesting for Damien Darhk to fight actual people with superpowers as opposed to the Green Arrow, who he could just easily kill with the snap of a finger. And I don't want to like hate on Green Arrow or anything, but he wouldn't stand a chance against Damien Darhk in real life. So it made Season 4, Season 4 wasn't great. It was really bad, but Damien Darhk's fights with him were one of the worst parts of the season, and that's saying a lot. So I think he could have some great fights with the Legends this season, other than like Sarah Lance. He could have great fights with like Vixen, who has magic powers. We saw in Arrow that Vixen's totem can repel Damien Darhk's magic a little bit, and so can if her totem can, then Zari's totem can. So I think that Damien Darhk can have some great fights with Vixen and Zari, so it won't get as annoying as it did on Arrow Season 4. It might get a little bit annoying at times where he just monologues instead of killing people, but I don't think it will be as annoying as Arrow Season 4, especially since there's people with actual superpowers on the team with totems that can repel Damien's dark magic a little bit. Number 6 is when Sam notices the hole in her shirt and then a bullet falls out, and she notices that she got shot but was unaffected, on Supergirl. This moment was great, and it was a huge reminder that Supergirl is finally doing a season-long villain that is fleshed out and is clearly the main villain from the start, unlike season 1 and 2, which is so refreshing and great. And I love that small hints each episode revealing to us and Sam, or more to Sam because we know she's going to be Rain, but revealing to Sam who she is, and that's just really, really awesome. So number 5 is the first Arrow moment on this list, which might be a little surprising considering how high I gave Arrow this week, how high the score I gave, how much I love the episode. But I don't think it will be too surprising if once you've seen the next 5 moments on this list. So number 5 is when we learned about Vigilante's healing factor and he and Dinah had a talk on Arrow. This was a really compelling, heartfelt moment that makes Vigilante a much more sympathetic and interesting character. And the fact that he has powers is really cool too, especially since it's a superpower that fits into the tone of Arrow, which is mostly powerless aside from Black Siren and Black Canary. But the healing, those things have to be an Arrow. I mean, Black Canary with the Canary Cry, it works on Arrow because it's the Black Canary. Number 4 is the big twist at the end of Arrow when it is revealed that Joe Wilson is actually the boss of the Jackals. I definitely didn't see this coming, and what more can you ask for in a twist than one that you can't see coming and one that furthers the plot? I thought this is a great twist. I thought that it was really well done. I didn't see it coming, obviously. It wasn't predictable. And again, what more can you ask for in a twist? Number 3 is the big Vigilante identity reveal on Arrow that he is Vincent Sobel. Although it was kind of confusing because he was recast, and Mark Guggenheim said that he's going to be a recognizable face, but he wasn't recognizable in the slightest because he was recast and because we only saw the character for like a minute. He only had like a minute of screen time on Arrow, but moving aside that, I still thought it was a great moment, and honestly, I'm glad that Vigilante is Vincent Sobel as opposed to Paul Holt, if for no other reason than to give Dinah more screen time over Mr. Terrific. But this does give Dinah a second rival, while Diggle, Renee, and Curtis don't have one at all. So while that's a little weird, it actually feels really good for the only 2 characters on the show to have more than one rival are Green Arrow and Black Canary. The only 2 characters on the show that actually belong on the show. Other characters could appear and all, but these 2 characters, Green Arrow and Black Canary, should have always been, or at least like nearing the ends of the show, should be the 2 main leads of the show, and it's really refreshing. And it just feels really good to have those 2 be the only ones with 2 main rivals. Green Arrow being Richard Dragon and Anatoly, Black Canary being Black Siren, and now Vigilante. But all of this is if Vigilante doesn't ally himself with Team Arrow, which was hinted at near the end of the episode when he left the paper with roses, or the roses made out of paper in Dinah's car. I feel like I don't want him to ally himself with Team Arrow just because, again, it feels good for Black Canary to have 2 rivals, and I don't want Dinah and Vigilante to have a romance because I want Dinah to have a romance with Oliver, but obviously that's never going to happen. But, one could hope. Number 2 is when Mullis talked to Rip through Eleanor Dark. That moment was creepy. It was scary. It revealed to us a lot of information about Mullis that we didn't know. I honestly didn't know Mullis was going to be the main villain until this moment, and I don't know, this moment really made it for me. Like I keep on saying, Legends of Tomorrow this week was so intriguing, and this moment was by far the most intriguing moment on Legends this week, so it deserved second place. It was first place until I saw. So you probably know what number 1 is if you've seen my review of Arrow this week. Some weeks I don't have a clear number 1 for me, like in week 3, where Kawase attacking the train was week 3. I felt like week 3 was pretty weak. I know. Week 3 was pretty weak considering that was number 1, because I just felt like it wasn't an incredible moment. But this week was not one of those weeks. This week I had a clear moment from the beginning. When I first saw it, I was like, "Yep, that's going to be number 1." And that moment is the Deathstroke fight scene where he mauled through the Jackals. It was badass. It was bloody. It was amazing choreography, perfectly bending Deathstroke's sword fighting style with his gun shooting people. And I said this in my review, but I have never wanted a Deathstroke spinoff more than I did watching this fight scene. It was that incredible. But what was your favorite moment in the Arrowverse this week? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.